Meeting come to order, please. Roll call, press your present button, please. Recorded. Thank you. Staff announcements.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I have a number of announcements. First of all, you have in front of you an announcement for a training session put upon us by the Middle Tennessee chapter of the American Planning Association. It's a Planning Commissioner and Board of Zoning Appeals training. It's to occur Friday, November 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I have reserved a number of slots for this body and the Planning Commission, and it will occur over at the Eastern Flank event facility, also known as the former Carton Golf Course. So I just did that for PJ. At any rate, it'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They will provide lunch, and if you're interested in going, let me know. I have the certificates. There's a limited number of certificates, but I have certificates that I can give you, and you can go over and join them. Secondly, we do have an item that has been withdrawn. It's item 22. That's the South Creek water bond. Our third announcement would be the fact that we'll have our first Triune Public Involvement meeting on November 2nd at 5:30 p.m. at the Triune United Methodist Church. We had a nice kickoff meeting, I think, since we've met, haven't we not, Mike? Very well attended, in the range of 60 people, so wow. Like to keep that momentum going, but you are all certainly invited. There are several revised reports in front of you that I wish to incorporate in that. 4, 10, 15, and 19. And on the consent agenda, we have asked that one item be pulled, which would be item 10, Silverstream Farm, Section F, for separate consideration. And that is all I have, unless I left something out.
Thank you, sir. Consideration of the minutes of September 14, 17. Any corrections? Changes? Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Recorded. Motion carries. Thank you. Consideration of the consent agenda. Anyone on the commission wishing to pull an item for separate discussion, please say so now. Otherwise, we'll take it as a whole. Anyone? I see none. Staff?
And we are pulling item 10 from the consent agenda. Very good. Thank you.
We'll take item 10 at the conclusion of the consent.
Thank you very much. Beginning with item 3, Blackberry Ridge Performance Bond for Landscaping, $9,900. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 6 months. Item 4, Clovercroft Preserve, Section 1, Maintenance Bond for Landscaping, $29,600. Recommendation, defer to the November 10, 2017 meeting. Item 5, Hideaway at Arrington, Performance Bond for Wastewater Treatment and Disposal System, $537,000. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 1 year. Item 6, Hideaway at Arrington, Section 2, Maintenance Bond for Wastewater Collection System, $66,100. Recommendation, extended current amount for 1 year. Item 7, Hideaway at Arrington, Section 2, Performance Bond for Roads, Drainage, and Erosion Control, $567,000. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 1 year. Item 8, Karen Whitford Commercial Lot, Performance Bond for Landscaping, $1,815. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 6 months. Item 9, Silverstream Farm, Section 4F, Performance Bond for Sewer Improvements, $14,500. Recommendation, release the bond. Dropping down to item 11, Stag's Leap, Section 3A, Maintenance Bond for Roads, Drainage, and Erosion Control, $6,000. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 1 year. Item 12, The Grove, Section 5, Maintenance Bond for Roads, Drainage, and Erosion Control, $300,000. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 1 year. Item 13, The Grove, Section 7, Performance Bond for Wastewater Collection System, $275,600. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 3 months. Item 14, The Grove, Section 7, performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control, $550,000. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 1 year. And item 15, Yastian property, performance bond for landscaping, $7,750. Recommendation, defer to the November 9th, 2017 meeting.
Thank you, sir. The motion? Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Motion carries. Thank you. Then item 10 that was on consent is Silverstream Farm, Section 4F, performance bond for roads, drains, and erosion control located off of Rocky Fork Road. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In preparation of the consent agenda, staff found an error in the heading of this particular item, so we just wanted to be sure that the proper heading and the proper report was read into the record. This is for Silverstream Farm, Section 4F. Staff visited the site and noted that some improvements have been made. Staff recommends that this bond be converted to maintenance in the current amount for a period of 1 year. That's all we have on that.
That's it?
Yep.
Motion? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Do we have this on the machine? Yep. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Whoa. Motion carries. Thank you. Any old business? I've lost my agenda. Thank you. Agenda item 16, non-residential site plan review for Gateway Church, Phase 2 revised on 11 acres located at 1288 Lewisburg Pike in the 2nd Voting District. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is requesting approval of a 16,661 square foot addition to an existing church. The proposed addition will be used for ministry services, and the existing sanctuary will be expanded to accommodate church growth. The property in question is located on Lewisburg Pike, approximately a quarter-mile south of the Henpeck Lane intersection. The site is bordered by residential uses to the north, south, and west, and non-residential uses are to the north and east. Access is taken from Lewisburg Pike via an existing driveway. Water to the site is served by HB&TS Utility District, and staff has received confirmation that service is available. The site will be served by an on-site septic system, and the Williamson County Department of Sewage Disposal Management has approved the request. As the property is located within the City of Franklin's urban growth boundary, a copy of the site plan has been submitted for their review. At the time of this writing, no response from the city has been received. The site plan is in order, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you, sir. Questions of staff? Anyone? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? I see none. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Come on. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 17 is non-residential site plan review for Terra Vista wastewater and treatment disposal system on 131 acres located off Long Lane in the 12th Voting District. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is requesting site plan approval for a proposed non-traditional wastewater treatment and disposal system in the Rural Development 1 zoning district. The proposed system will serve a residential subdivision that is planned for the property. The county zoning ordinance requires a site plan for a proposed non-traditional wastewater treatment and disposal system to be approved before a concept plan for the use the system will serve may be approved. The subject property totals approximately 131 acres and is located on Long Lane. The front of the property is relatively flat with rolling hills, while the rear of the property contains steep slopes. Approximately 80% of the site is covered in tree canopy. The property contains several natural resources, including streams, slopes, hilltops, and woodlands. The proposed system will utilize recirculating sand filter technology to treat wastewater generated by the proposed subdivision. The treatment system will be located in the southwest portion of the site, approximately 310 feet from the adjoining property, which meets the setback requirements. The disposal system will be located in the northern portion of the site and meets the setback requirements. A certificate of convenience and necessity has been approved by the Tennessee Regulatory Authority. A design development report and detailed soils investigation were prepared by the applicant and submitted to the county. The county's wastewater consultant has reviewed these reports and is recommending approval of the proposed site plan. Conceptual layout for the proposed subdivision, which depicts 125 lots, has been included as sheet C1.0 of the site plan packet. This conceptual layout is provided for illustrative purposes only and has not been reviewed for compliance with applicable regulations. It is staff's opinion that the combination of distance, topography, and existing vegetation will serve to adequately screen the treatment system from adjacent properties. Landscaping plan has been submitted and approved. Site plan is in order, and staff recommends approval with the condition that prior to final plat submittal for the first section of the proposed subdivision, a zoning certificate must be obtained for the completed treatment and disposal system. Prior to issuance of the zoning certificate, the applicant shall provide the following. A letter from TDEC indicating that the non-traditional wastewater treatment system was installed and is functioning. 2, as-built drawings showing the location of all system components and a sealed certification letter from the design engineer indicating that the non-traditional wastewater treatment and disposal system was constructed in accordance with the approved construction plans and specifications. 3, a letter from the owner/utility provider indicating that it has accepted the non-traditional wastewater treatment and disposal system and is currently operating the same. And number 4, posting of a performance bond in the amount of $120,000 for the non-traditional wastewater treatment and disposal system as specified by the county's wastewater consultant.
Any questions of staff? Comments? Thoughts? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Vote now. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item, under preliminary plats, agenda item 18, preliminary plat review for Hardeman Springs, Phase 1, containing 35 lots on 114 acres located off of Murfreesboro Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A concept plan for this development was approved at the August 2017 meeting. The applicant is now requesting preliminary plat approval for the first phase of the development, which consists of 35 lots, the wastewater treatment and disposal system, and approximately 79 acres of open space. Within the development, the applicant is requesting a right-of-way width of 40 feet in order to locate sidewalks outside of the right-of-way and a design speed of 25 miles per hour for internal roadways. The staff is in support of these requests. TDOT has granted conceptual approval for turn lane improvements on Murfreesboro Road. The preliminary plat is consistent in layout with that depicted on the approved concept plan. Staff recommends approval of the preliminary plat with the following conditions, which shall be addressed with final plat consideration. 1, prior to final plat submittal for the first section of the proposed subdivision, a zoning certificate must be obtained for the completed treatment and disposal system. Prior to issuance of the zoning certificate, the applicant shall provide the following. A, letter from TDEC indicating that said system to serve this development was installed and is functioning. B, as-built drawings showing the location of all system components and a sealed certification letter from the design engineer indicating that said system to serve this development was constructed in accordance with the approved construction plans and specifications. C, a letter from the owner/utility provider indicating that it has accepted said system to serve this development and is currently operating same. D, the posting of a performance bond in the amount of $165,000 for the non-traditional wastewater treatment and disposal system as specified by the county's wastewater consultant, and E, posting of a performance bond in the amount of $63,580 for landscaping improvements. Number 2, prior to submittal of a final plat, turn lane improvements on Murfreesboro Road must be completed in accordance with the approved plans, which includes the left-hand turn lanes at each of the site's entrances and the right turn deceleration lanes at each of the site's entrances as recommended by staff. 3, prior to consideration of final plat approval, the applicant shall submit HOA documents for review and approval by the county attorney's office. The HOA documents must be submitted with the final plat, and the approved HOA documents must be recorded concurrently with the recording of the final plat. 4, establishment of a performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control. 5, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of Nolensville College Grove Utility District. 6, establishment of a performance bond for the wastewater collection system. 7, submission of landscaping plans and establishment of a performance bond for landscaping. 8, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And 9, submission of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plan Coordinate System prior to signature and recording of the plat.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of staff? Yes, sir.
A couple of questions. In your plats concerning this subdivision, at one place it states there'll be 35 lots on 15 point some acres and 79 open space. Another place it said there'll be 38 lots on 17 point something acres and 50 something.
Which is correct? Is your question which is correct?
Which is correct, and should we know before we vote on things?
Aaron?
It is 35 lots on 114 acres is the correct.
All right. And I've got another question about the plats. And on the plats, it lists set for lots, side setbacks and front setbacks and all. And it lists 5-foot side setbacks on the housing. Looks like on half-acre lots, it wouldn't need to be a side setback of that small amount.
The zoning ordinance allows for conservation subdivisions such as this to have a 5-foot setback inside the zoning district.
Even with a half-acre lot?
Yes, that is correct.
Wow. Okay.
This is an entranceway to our county from the east, and look like that will be just one long housing project rather than individual lot subdivision.
On a half-acre lot, Pete, if it's 5 foot on one side, it's going to be pretty wide on the other side.
Well, it had 5 foot on each side. I didn't know.
No. They're not talking about that. I think, how wide is, what's the average lot in there, Aaron? Width?
Let me bring Richard House up here. He should be able to answer that for us quicker than I could.
Richard Howes with SEC.
You understand the question?
Yes, sir. The lots are about 100 foot wide on average. They're 100 by 200 foot.
So
5 foot setbacks, you've got 90 foot wide to build.
a 60-foot house?
Correct.
I mean, would that be a typical house?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Okay. Anything else? Pete? You can't hear me. Robin?
I have a question. Where are we on the intersection of Arno and McDaniel Road? And the reason I'm asking is I actually utilized the storage place there, and we got a letter a few weeks ago stating that there's going to be blasting and some construction going on at the Arno McDaniel Meeks Road, which obviously I knew was going to happen. So where are we on that and correcting that intersection?
That is technically with the next project on the list, but we're in the design phase with that right now.
Okay.
And working with, we've got plans to be submitted to the highway department next week.
Okay.
So.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Anything else? Thank you, sir. Motion? By someone? Thank you. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Vote now. One more time, Sharon. There you go. Recorded. I'm sorry. Oh, Pete. I'm sorry. I'll have to get better glasses. Recorded. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 18, preliminary plat review for McDaniel Estates Phase 1 containing 40 lots on 352 acres located off McDaniel Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will be reading from a revised report that's on your desks in front of you. A concept plan for this development was approved at the February 2017 meeting. The applicant is now requesting preliminary plat approval for the first phase of the development, which consists of 40 lots, the wastewater treatment and disposal system, and approximately 338 acres of open space. As required roadway improvements recommended by the county's traffic consultant are to be completed prior to the submittal of the final plat containing the 87th lot, and this preliminary plat only contains 40 lots, off-site improvements are not required in conjunction with this phase. All necessary easements for the wastewater delivery system for connection to the regional wastewater system are in place. The applicant is requesting a 40-foot right-of-way width in order to locate sidewalks outside of the right-of-way and a design speed of 25 miles per hour within the subdivision. Staff is in support of these requests. The preliminary plat is consistent in layout with that depicted on the approved concept plan. Staff recommends approval with the following conditions, which shall be addressed in conjunction with final plat consideration. Number 1, prior to the final plat submittal of the first section of the proposed subdivision, a zoning certificate must be obtained for the completed treatment and disposal system. Prior to the issuance of the zoning certificate, the applicant shall provide the following. A letter from TDEC indicating that said system to serve this development was installed and is functioning. B, as-built drawing showing the location of all system components and a sealed certification letter from the design engineer indicating that said system to serve this development was constructed in accordance with the approved construction plans and specifications. C, a letter from the owner/utility provider indicating that it has accepted said system to serve this development and is currently operating same. And D, the posting of a performance bond in the amount of $4,125 for landscaping improvements. Number 2, prior to consideration of final plat approval, the applicant shall submit HOA documents for review and approval by the county attorney's office. The HOA documents must be submitted with the final plat, and the approved HOA documents must be recorded concurrently with the recording of the final plat. Number 3, prior to submittal of the final plat containing the 87th lot, all off-site improvements as specified in the traffic impact analysis review letter from the county's traffic consultant must be completed in accordance with the approved plans. The developer shall be responsible for acquiring any additional rights-of-way and/or construction easements in order to complete the required improvements. 4, prior to consideration of final plat approval for the first section of the development, construction of the pedestrian bridge across the Harpeth River must be completed. 5, establishment of performance bonds for roads, drainage, and erosion control. 6, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of Millcrofton Utility District. 7, establishment of a performance bond for the wastewater collection system. 8, submission of landscaping plans and establishment of a performance bond for landscaping. 9, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And number 10, submission of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plan Coordinate System prior to signature and recording of the plat. One additional item, Mr. Chairman, there is correspondence in front of you regarding this item.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Robin?
Okay, my last question was actually for this one, not the last one. I was looking at this,
We
so
knew
thank
that.
you for
You were the
answering my
only one that
question
did.
early. I was trying to move y'all along a little bit, but anyways, just so you know.
You gonna follow up on that, or was that an apology?
Guess so. Sorry about that. I didn't confuse y'all.
Oh, someone else that has something of validity to contribute. Anyone? I gotta, where'd that guy go? Come back, visit with us some more. I got a letter about the right-of-way width out there, and it's what it is and what's on the plat and what it's supposed to be. Have you acquired your right-of-ways for your road improvements?
We have not. We're in the process of talking with the neighbors and stuff on that.
So you're showing it what it's gonna be?
We're adjusting the plans to what's recorded out there and what to show the highway department, and it is not on the plans that you have in front of you. No.
Oh, that's what I was told. That's why I asked. What's shown on the plan? Is it 50?
What you have on these plans is the correct right-of-way, what will be dedicated from my client to the county. What's off-site has not been turned in yet and shown to...
You just haven't acquired a right-of-way?
Correct.
Okay. Anyone else have a question of this gentleman? Any comments? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Holly?
Well, I guess I do have a comment. I don't know if it's necessarily, to him, but, I was looking at the correspondence that we got with the email, and I really hope we don't have some developers out there that are misleading property owners. I mean, I don't know what we can do about it.
I don't think it's in our regulations, but...
Right, right. I mean, I don't know what we can do about it, but that's kind of...
I understand.
Disheartening in some ways that a property owner would be made to think that the county is requiring them to sign a document or to sign away their right-of-way, when actually it's the developer that is wanting the right-of-way. So.
You got it. Anyone else? Mr. Crohan?
Just a clarification for me, that this is correct what it says, there's approximately 338 acres of open space on this property?
That is correct, yes. There is 338 acres of open space.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, thoughts? Motion? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Oh, now. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. I'm going to digress just 1 second. Mike, is there some reason we don't have in our regulations 40-foot right-of-way in order to locate sidewalks and a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit? It is in every subdivision we've done for the last 2 years, and it's an exception to the regs. Why don't we put it in the regs?
Yeah, we ought to, and we will.
I mean, is that a difficult thing to do?
It does make sense. No, sir, it's not.
Okay, I'm just curious why you...
We're in the process of doing some
Pretty strong overhaul of the
Add that one to the
subdivision.
list,
Yes,
please.
it was already on the list.
Oh,
yeah.
good, thank you. Agenda item 20, final plat. Final plat review for Burning Tree Farm, Section 1, containing 10 lots on 18 acres located off Nonesville Road in the 5th Voting District. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A concept plan for this development was approved by this body at the November 2016 meeting, and the preliminary plat was approved at the March 2017 meeting. The applicant is now requesting final plat approval for the first section of this development, which contains 10 lots and approximately 6.5 acres of open space. The Department of Sewage Disposal Management has reviewed and approved the request. The final plat is consistent in layout with that shown on the concept plan, and staff recommends approval with the following conditions. Number 1, the posting of a performance bond in the amount of $188,000 for roads, drainage, and erosion control. Number 2, the posting of a performance bond in the amount of $142,500 for water improvements as specified by Nolensville College Grove Utility District. 3, the approved HOA documents must be recorded concurrently with the recording of the final plat. 4, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And 5, the applicant provide 2 copies of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plan coordinate system prior to signature and recording of the plat.
Thank you, sir. Questions, comments, thoughts? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Well, there you go. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 21 is final plat review for Stevens Valley, Stevens Valley, Section 1, containing 63 lots on 29 acres located off of Pasquale Road in the 9th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A concept plan for this development was approved by this body at the April 2016 meeting, and a preliminary plat for the first 88 lots was approved at the November 2016 meeting. The applicant is now requesting final plat approval for Section 1 of the development, which includes 63 lots and approximately 11.4 acres of open space. The final plat is consistent in layout with the approved preliminary plats. The turn lane into the development, which is predominantly located in Davidson County, but which extends eastward into Williamson County, has been constructed. The applicant has furnished the county with a copy of the agreement with St. Matthew's Catholic School regarding the developer providing a traffic control officer to facilitate turning movements into and off of Sneed Road at Timberline Drive, per the recommendation letter from the county's traffic consultant. The traffic control officer will need to be actively working at this location, per the recommendation, before the final plat may be signed and recorded. A landscaping plan has been submitted and approved by staff. Landscaping requirements applicable to this section of the development include a peripheral buffer yard along the eastern property line. The National Park Service has indicated that it is not requiring a landscaping bond relative to a reforestation plan designed to screen the development from a section of the Natchez Trace Parkway. Staff recommends approval of this final plat with the following conditions. 1, prior to signature and recording of the plat, the traffic control officer specified in the recommendation letter from the county's traffic engineering consultant must be actively working. 2, the approved HOA documents must be recorded concurrently with the final plat. 3, the posting of a performance bond in the amount of $2,208,000 for roads, drainage, and erosion control. 4, the posting of a performance bond in the amount of $819,297.83 for water and sewer improvements as specified by Harpeth Valley Utility District. 5, the posting of a performance bond in the amount of $72,160 for landscaping improvements. 6, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And 7, submission of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plan coordinate system prior to signature and recording of the plat. And Mr. Chairman, I have just one quick clarification relative to the left turn lane into the development, which is located in Metro. I meant to say largely completed, but I omitted the word largely.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Questions of Mike? Go ahead, Pete.
Who's gonna pay for this traffic control officer, and how long will they pay for him?
I think that's in that reg.
It is, Mr. Mosley, the developer will pay for the traffic control officer, and the traffic control officer will be in place up until the time that the turn lane improvements at that intersection are constructed.
Other questions? Motion? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Vote now. Robin, there you go. Recorded. I can't see that for some reason. Now recorded. Thank you. Motion carries. Agenda item 22 has been withdrawn. Any other business? I hear none. Motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you.